One of the most powerful ways to reframe failure is by adopting a growth mindset. People with a growth mindset believe that their abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort and learning. They view challenges and setbacks as opportunities to grow, rather than as signs of inadequacy. By cultivating this mindset, you allow yourself the freedom to take risks, try new things, and embrace failure without fear. When you focus on learning from mistakes rather than avoiding them, your creativity becomes limitless. When you encounter failure, it's important to take the time to reflect and analyze what went wrong. What lessons can you learn from the experience? How can you adjust your approach? By treating failure as feedback, you continuously evolve and improve your ideas. This process of reflection helps you pivot when necessary and move forward with greater clarity and focus. For instance, if you launch a new product and it doesn't gain traction, instead of viewing it as a failure, analyze customer feedback, identify areas for improvement, and tweak your product. Perhaps the marketing message didn't resonate or the timing was off. These insights help guide your next steps, enabling you to refine and build a more successful version of your idea. Reframing failure as data isn't just about learning from your own mistakes, it's also about embracing failure in others. When you see people or organizations failing, don't view it as the end. Instead, consider it a necessary step toward greater innovation. Many successful entrepreneurs and leaders have failed repeatedly before achieving success, but they embraced the journey, adjusted, and kept going. In conclusion, failure isn't something to fear, it's an integral part of the creative process. By viewing failure as valuable data, you shift your perspective and gain a deeper understanding of how to move forward. The best ideas are often born out of setbacks, and each failure brings you closer to the breakthrough you're striving for. So embrace failure, learn from it, and keep moving forward toward your best ideas. Sometimes the best ideas don't come from careful analysis or extensive research, they come from that gut feeling, that instinctive spark that tells you something could work, even when there's no logical explanation. Trusting your instincts is a critical component of creativity. It involves listening to your inner voice, especially when your rational mind gets caught up in overthinking or second-guessing. Learning how to balance instinct with reason can help you generate ideas that are not only original but also aligned with your authentic vision. Instinct is often seen as a mysterious, almost magical force, but it's based on experience and intuition. When you face a creative challenge, your brain draws from patterns, knowledge, and past experiences to give you a feeling of what might work. These intuitive insights may not always make sense immediately, but they often serve as the initial seed for groundbreaking ideas. Think about some of the most successful innovators, people like Steve Jobs, who famously trusted his gut when making major design and business decisions. Jobs didn't always rely on traditional market research or focus groups. Instead, he trusted his instinct that a product should be simple, elegant, and user-friendly, even if that went against the grain of industry norms. When you trust your instincts, you allow yourself to break free from conventional thinking and follow a path that feels right to you. In doing so, you open the door to more innovative and authentic ideas that may otherwise be stifled by too much analysis. Trusting your instincts doesn't mean ignoring logic or rational thinking. It means developing the confidence to listen to and follow your internal compass when it comes to creativity. Here are a few ways to strengthen your instinctive decision-making. Practice mindfulness. Take time to quiet your mind through meditation, deep breathing, or reflection. This helps you tune into your inner voice and separate it from the noise of external distractions. Reflect on past successes. When you've had a breakthrough or created something meaningful, look back and see if there were moments when your instincts guided you. Understanding these patterns will help you better recognize and trust your intuition in future projects. Embrace uncertainty. Being creative often means venturing into the unknown. Instead of trying to control every outcome, allow yourself to step into uncertainty and let your instincts lead the way. It's often in these moments of unknown territory that the most innovative ideas emerge. While trusting your instincts is essential, it's also important to balance it with critical thinking and feedback from others. Creativity is not an isolated process, but a blend of intuition, reason, and collaboration. Trusting your gut should guide the early stages of idea generation, while rational analysis and external feedback can help refine and strengthen your concepts. By learning to balance intuition with thoughtful analysis, you can ensure that your ideas are both innovative and practical, resulting in creative breakthroughs that are grounded in both inspiration and reason. Creativity doesn't always come from a flash of brilliance, it often comes from observing the world around you in new ways. The ability to notice things that others overlook is a powerful tool in generating your best ideas. When you develop the habit of keen observation, you begin to see connections, patterns, and opportunities that can fuel your creativity. Great innovators, artists, and problem solvers are often those who notice the small details that others ignore, and they use these observations to create something new and impactful. Observation is a skill that can be honed with practice. It's not just about seeing things, but about truly seeing them, paying attention to what's happening around you in a deep, mindful way. It's about observing behavior, environments, objects, and even moments that others might pass by. This heightened awareness can uncover insights that become the foundation of your best ideas. For example, in the field of design, many iconic products were inspired by simple observations. The story behind the development of the first iPod was rooted in Apple's observation of consumer frustration with existing music players. Instead of focusing on what was already available, the team observed how people wanted to interact with music on a deeper level, leading to the creation of the sleek, user-friendly device that transformed the music industry. In the world of entrepreneurship, successful founders often build their businesses based on observations of unmet needs or gaps in the market. They see patterns where others see chaos and use their observations to develop products or services that solve real-world problems. To become a better observer and unlock your creative potential, try incorporating these strategies into your routine. Slow down and be present. In today's fast-paced world, we often rush through life without taking the time to observe. Slow down, take a deep breath, and focus on the present moment. Notice the details, the colors, sounds, and textures in your environment. This mindfulness allows you to capture more of what's happening around you and see things through a fresh lens. Challenge assumptions. Often, we overlook things because we've already formed an assumption about them. Challenge these assumptions by asking yourself questions like, what would happen if I looked at this from a different angle? Or what would happen if I approached this problem in an entirely new way? Engage with others. Observing people, whether through conversations, social media, or public events, can provide valuable insights. Pay attention to the words people use, their body language, and their reactions to situations. This can help you identify pain points, desires, and ideas you can leverage in your creative process. Record your observations, keep a journal, or use a digital tool to capture the ideas and observations that stand out to you. Writing them down allows you to revisit and reflect on these insights later, providing a rich source of material for your creative endeavors. Once you've sharpened your observation skills, the next step is transforming those insights into action. Take note of recurring themes, surprising patterns, and small details that might inspire innovative solutions. The act of observing gives you the raw material for your ideas, but it's your creativity that turns those observations into something impactful. In conclusion, developing a habit of observation allows you to tap into a wealth of inspiration that many others miss. By being present, challenging assumptions, and engaging with your environment in a more mindful way, you open yourself up to new ideas and perspectives. And from those observations, your best creative breakthroughs will emerge. It may seem counterintuitive, but some of the best ideas emerge when we step away from our work and allow ourselves to rest. In a world that prizes productivity and constant hustle, taking breaks is often undervalued. However, research and experience show that rest is essential for creativity and long-term success. To generate your best ideas, it's just as important to give your brain time to recharge as it is to put in hours of focused work. When we're immersed in a problem or task for extended periods, our brains can become fatigued, making it harder to think clearly or come up with fresh ideas. The constant pressure to be on can hinder creativity, making it difficult to see new possibilities or think outside the box. However, taking breaks, whether short pauses during the day or longer periods of rest, can significantly enhance cognitive function, creativity, and overall performance. Research shows that rest helps our brains consolidate information, make new connections, and process emotions. One study found that taking a break can lead to an increase in creative problem-solving abilities. When we step away from the task at hand, our brains continue to work in the background, often making unexpected connections and generating innovative ideas. For example, many famous breakthroughs in history occurred when the innovator wasn't actively trying to solve the problem. Archimedes, the ancient Greek mathematician, famously discovered the principle of buoyancy while taking a bath. Similarly, many writers and artists find that their best ideas come to them when they're not actively trying to be creative during walks, while cooking, or even when they're asleep. Rest allows for mental rejuvenation. Creativity requires mental energy, and just like our bodies, our brains need to recharge. If we work for long periods without breaks, we burn out. Taking time to rest ensures that our brains have the energy needed to think clearly and process new ideas. It fosters a state of relaxation. When you rest, especially in activities like mindfulness or meditation, your brain enters a relaxed state that can facilitate creative insights. In a relaxed state, your mind is more open to new ideas and can make connections that it might have missed when overly focused on a task. Prevents burnout. Constant work without adequate rest leads to mental and physical exhaustion, which stifles creativity. By incorporating breaks into your routine, you avoid burnout, allowing yourself to stay energized and engaged with your creative projects over the long term. Rest encourages subconscious thinking. When you step away from a problem, your subconscious mind has the space to process information in the background. Often the solution to a creative challenge will surface when you're doing something else entirely, like exercising or resting. This eureka moment happens because your brain has had time to process and reorganize the information in a way that leads to an unexpected insight. Follow the Pomodoro technique. One popular method for integrating breaks into your routine is the Pomodoro technique. This involves working for 25 minutes, followed by a 5-minute break. After 4 cycles, you take a longer break, 15 to 30 minutes. This structured approach to rest ensures that your brain gets the necessary downtime to recharge throughout the day. When it comes to generating your best ideas, one question stands above all others: why? This simple yet profound question acts as the cornerstone for creativity, innovation, and meaningful solutions. Made popular by Simon Sinek's Golden Circle concept, starting with why forces you to dig deeper into the purpose behind your ideas. And when you have a clear sense of purpose, your creativity becomes more focused, your solutions more impactful, and your execution more purposeful. At its core, why is about purpose. Purpose drives passion, and passion fuels creativity. Without a clear understanding of why you're trying to generate an idea, you risk spinning your wheels on things that don't truly matter. For example, let's say you're tasked with coming up with a new product or service. If you start with what you want to create or how you plan to deliver it, you might come up with something functional but uninspiring. However, if you start with why, the deeper reason behind solving this problem, you tap into a source of inspiration that resonates not only with you but also with others. Starting with why also helps align your ideas with your core values and beliefs. When your ideas are connected to something you genuinely care about, you're far more likely to stick with them, even when the road gets tough. For example, many of history's greatest innovators, people like Martin Luther King Jr., Steve Jobs, or Marie Curie, were driven by a clear sense of purpose. Their why was so deeply ingrained that it guided every decision they made, from how they worked to the people they surrounded themselves with. These questions force you to go beyond surface-level thinking and uncover the emotional and practical drivers behind your efforts. For example, if you're a teacher looking to improve classroom engagement, your why might be rooted in your desire to inspire the next generation of leaders. That purpose gives you a powerful lens through which to generate ideas, from new teaching methods to creative classroom activities. When you start with why, you create a compass that guides your creative process. It ensures that every idea you generate is aligned with your bigger picture. This clarity not only helps you come up with better ideas, but also makes it easier to prioritize them. Ideas that don't align with your why become distractions, while those that do become opportunities worth pursuing. Finally, starting with why amplifies the impact of your ideas because it resonates with others. People connect with purpose. When you communicate the why behind your ideas, whether it's to a team, an investor, or an audience, you inspire them to join you on your mission. This emotional connection transforms your ideas from good to unforgettable. In conclusion, starting with why isn't just a step in the creative process, it's the foundation for everything that follows. Purpose fuels passion, passion drives creativity, and creativity leads to meaningful innovation. So the next time you sit down to brainstorm, start with why, and watch as your best ideas come to life. Routine is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it provides structure and efficiency, but on the other, it can stifle creativity and trap you in predictable patterns of thinking. If you want to generate your best ideas, you must learn to break free from the monotony of routine and embrace the unfamiliar. Creativity thrives in new environments, experiences, and perspectives, and stepping out of your comfort zone is the catalyst for innovation. While routines help us manage daily life, they can also limit our ability to think differently. When you do the same tasks in the same way, every day your brain relies on autopilot. This minimizes mental effort, but also reduces the likelihood of creative breakthroughs. For example, if you always brainstorm ideas at your desk at the same time of day, your environment may unconsciously constrain your thinking. Creativity by nature requires novelty. New stimuli force your brain to make unexpected connections, leading to fresh ideas. To break free from routine is to intentionally disrupt these predictable patterns and invite new possibilities. One of the best ways to break free from routine is by seeking out new experiences. Travel, for instance, is a well-known creativity booster because it exposes you to different cultures, languages, and ways of thinking. Even small changes like taking a different route to work or trying a new hobby can rewire your brain and spark fresh ideas. For example, imagine you're a designer struggling to create a new product concept. Taking a walk in nature, visiting a museum, or attending a workshop on a completely unrelated topic could inspire unexpected solutions. These new experiences act as a springboard, providing raw material for your brain to process and innovate. The greatest ideas don't start with answers, they start with questions. Questions are the spark that ignites curiosity, challenges assumptions, and opens the door to fresh perspectives. When you embrace the power of asking the right questions, you shift from passive thinking to active exploration, uncovering possibilities you may have never considered. Great ideas rarely happen in isolation. They're often the product of collaboration, bringing together diverse perspectives, backgrounds, and experiences. When you surround yourself with people who think differently than you, creativity flourishes. Diverse minds challenge your assumptions, introduce fresh ideas, and help you see problems from angles you never considered. In today's fast-paced world, silence is a rare commodity. We often equate busyness with productivity and noise with progress. But when it comes to generating your best ideas, stillness can be. The journey from idea to execution is rarely a straight line. It's filled with trial, error, and refinement. The key to unlocking your best ideas lies in embracing the process of prototyping and iterating. Rather than waiting for your idea to be perfect, you take action quickly, test, gather feedback, and refine it over time. This iterative approach allows you to uncover flaws early, adjust accordingly, and ultimately create something that is truly effective. Prototyping is about turning ideas into tangible forms, whether that's a physical product, a visual mock-up, or a conceptual plan. By creating a prototype, you're testing the viability of your idea in the real world. It's an experiment where the goal isn't perfection but learning. Prototypes allow you to see how your idea works in practice, identify potential problems, and figure out how to solve them. Failure is often seen as the end of the road, a sign that something went wrong. But in reality, failure is an invaluable part of the creative process and can be the stepping stone to your best ideas. The key is reframing failure as data, a learning opportunity that provides you with insights, lessons, and the feedback necessary for growth. In creative endeavors, failure is not only inevitable but necessary. Instead of seeing these moments as setbacks, view them as experiments that have simply not yet succeeded. Every failure provides valuable information about what doesn't work and why, allowing you to refine and improve your approach. Consider some of history's most famous inventors and entrepreneurs. Thomas Edison, Steve Jobs, and Walt Disney all faced numerous failures. But they didn't see those failures as defeats. Instead, they viewed them as opportunities to learn and adapt. Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That mindset of seeing failure as part of the journey is critical for creative breakthroughs. One of the most powerful ways to reframe failure is by adopting a growth mindset. People with a growth mindset believe that their abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort and learning. They view challenges and setbacks as opportunities to grow rather than as signs of inadequacy. By cultivating this mindset, you allow yourself the freedom to take risks, try new things, and embrace failure without fear. When you focus on learning from mistakes rather than avoiding them, your creativity becomes limitless. When you encounter failure, it's important to take the time to reflect and analyze what went wrong. What lessons can you learn from the experience? How can you adjust your approach? By treating failure as feedback, you continuously evolve and improve your ideas. This process of reflection helps you pivot when necessary and move forward with greater clarity and focus. For instance, if you launch a new product and it doesn't gain traction, instead of viewing it as a failure, analyze customer feedback, identify areas for improvement, and tweak your product. Perhaps the marketing message didn't resonate or the timing was off. These insights help guide your next steps, enabling you to refine and build a more successful version of your idea. Reframing failure as data isn't just about learning from your own mistakes, it's also about embracing failure in others. When you see people or organizations failing, don't view it as the end. Instead, consider it a necessary step toward greater innovation. Many successful entrepreneurs and leaders have failed repeatedly before achieving success, but they embraced the journey, adjusted, and kept going. In conclusion, failure isn't something to fear, it's an integral part of the creative process. By viewing failure as valuable data, you shift your perspective and gain a deeper understanding of how to move forward. The best ideas are often born out of setbacks, and each failure brings you closer to the breakthrough you're striving for. So embrace failure, learn from it, and keep moving forward toward your best ideas. Failure is often seen as the end of the road, a sign that something went wrong. But in reality, failure is an invaluable part of the creative process and can be the stepping stone to your best ideas. The key is reframing failure as data, learning opportunity that provides you with insights, lessons, and the feedback necessary for growth. In creative endeavors, failure is not only inevitable but necessary. Instead of seeing these moments as setbacks, view them as experiments that have simply not yet succeeded. Every failure provides valuable information about what doesn't work and why, allowing you to refine and improve your approach. Consider some of history's most famous inventors and entrepreneurs. Thomas Edison, Steve Jobs, and Walt Disney all faced numerous failures. But they didn't see those failures as defeats. Instead, they viewed them as opportunities to learn and adapt. Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That mindset of seeing failure as part of the journey is critical for creative breakthroughs.